I never believed in ghosts or the paranormal. That kind of stuff was just for movies, right? But after what happened to me, I don't know anymore. It started when I moved into this old house I'd found online. It was a small single-story place with a basement. The kind of house that looks ordinary enough, but once you're inside, you feel different. It's hard to explain, but from day one, the air felt heavy, like something was watching me. At first, I thought it was just because the house was old. You know, settling noises, creaking floorboards, that kind of thing. But then, strange things started happening. Every night, around 2 a.m., I'd hear this soft, shuffling sound coming from the basement, like someone dragging their feet slowly across the floor. I brushed it off for the first few nights, telling myself it was just the house or maybe an animal. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. One night, I couldn't ignore it anymore. I grabbed a flashlight and made my way to the basement door. My hand hesitated on the knob. The cold metal sent a shiver through me. I took a deep breath and turned the handle. The door creaked open, revealing the stairs descending into pitch-black darkness. I flicked on the flashlight and stepped down, each step echoing in the silence. The air was damp, thick, and it smelled faintly of mold. My skin prickled with every step, like I was being watched. When I reached the bottom, I scanned the room. It was empty. Just dusty shelves, an old washer and dryer, some boxes stacked in the corner. But then I saw it. In the far corner, where the flashlight barely reached, there was a door. I had never noticed it before. It was a small, old wooden door, almost camouflaged against the concrete wall. The handle was rusted, and the wood looked ancient, like it didn't belong to this house, or any house for that matter. I approached it cautiously, every instinct in me screaming to turn around and leave. But something compelled me to reach for the handle. The moment I touched it, I heard the shuffling again. But this time, it was right behind me. I spun around, my heart racing, but there was nothing there, just shadows. I stood frozen, the flashlight shaking in my hand. I felt the air grow colder, my breath visible in the dim light. Then the door behind me creaked open on its own. It was slow, deliberate, like something was pushing it from the other side. My legs felt like they were glued to the floor, my heart pounding in my chest as the door opened wider. The light from my flashlight flickered, and for just a moment, I saw it, a shadow. It was tall, unnaturally thin, with long, bony limbs. It didn't have a face, just a dark, empty void where its features should be. It stood in the doorway, motionless, as if it were waiting for me to move. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I just stood there staring at this thing, my body paralyzed with fear. And then, without warning, it took a step forward. Its feet didn't touch the ground. It just glided toward me, like it was floating. The air around me grew colder with every inch it moved. That was when I snapped out of it. I bolted up the stairs, slamming the basement door shut behind me. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely lock it. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat on my bed, listening, waiting for the sound of shuffling feet coming up the stairs. The next morning, I tried to rationalize it. Maybe I was just tired. Maybe it was my imagination. But deep down, I knew what I saw. I couldn't stay there anymore. But before I left, I had to know. I had to see what was behind that door. I know it sounds insane, but it felt like that shadow had wanted me to find something. I needed to understand what was down there. So I went back down. This time, I didn't waste any time. I grabbed a crowbar from the garage, marched straight to the basement, and headed for that door. My heart pounded in my chest as I forced the door open. The wood splintered with a loud crack, and the door swung open, revealing a small, cramped room. It was dark, colder than the rest of the basement. The walls were lined with strange symbols, carved into the stone, and there was a heavy metallic smell in the air, like old blood. In the center of the room was a single wooden chair, stained with something dark and dried. And that's when I saw it. A pair of eyes, glowing faintly in the dark, staring back at me from the corner of the room. The shadow had returned. It moved slowly toward me, its shape shifting, distorting as it came closer. This time, there was no mistaking it. It wasn't human. I ran. I didn't stop up until out of the house, my breath ragged, my body shaking. I packed everything I could fit into my car and left without looking back. I don't know what that thing was or why it was in the basement, but I do know one thing. That house wasn't empty. It never was. Something lived down there, something ancient and evil. And now, even miles away in the dead of night, I sometimes hear it. That faint shuffling sound, like feet dragging across the floor. Whatever it was, I don't think it's finished with me yet.